So in this quick tip video, we're going to just go over fast the way of using the new Boolean tools inside of Zbrush 4r8. So once we open up Zbrush here, all you're going to need to do is add a tool. So I'm just going to add a Z-sphere. I'm going to click drag one out, hit edit, and make this a polymesh 3D. Once we have that, all we need to do is open up the subtools panel, and I'm actually just going to scroll down and duplicate this subtool, hit the move command, and I'm just going to move it outside the other sphere a little bit and possibly scale it down a bit. Now what we're going to do now is look inside of our subtool panel here, and we can see our Boolean operations. So this basically is a union and a division, and at this point now all we need to do is enable the previewing of this. So there's two ways we can turn it on. One is we come to rendering at the very top, and we can go to render booleans and turn on live booleans. You'll notice that when I hover over this that it's actually also here in our main menu. So when we do that, you'll see now, because we had changed the type of Boolean operation on our subtool, that we get a live preview. Now what's great is that this object can be moved around wherever it wants to. We can also scale it. And what's even crazier is if you go to one of your painting tools, so I'm going to hit BST to get the standard brush. If we start painting, you'll notice that we're actually not painting on the first subtool, we're actually painting on the mesh that's being cut away. So again, if I show it by turning it off and I paint in some noise here, switch it back to a cut, we'll get that cut information. Now, the last thing we need to realize is that this is just a preview. We haven't actually committed anything yet. So the last thing you need to do is come into your subtools panel here, go down to Boolean, and then we just need to make Boolean mesh. We can also turn on dynamic subdivisions to get more resolution when we need it, but for now I'm just going to click make Boolean mesh. It's going to have to think for just a second or two here, but once it's done thinking, it's going to basically generate a new tool up here in the tools panel for us to use. And so now that it's finished, we're going to see that we have this new subtool. You're always going to see it's going to be named with the prefix umesh in front of its name. And so at this point, what we could do is we could basically come up here and just append back in that subtool to our project. So I'm just going to append this in, and I can just hide my other two. And at this point now, you can see we basically have this one mesh that was Booleaned out that's completely finished. So hopefully that was a quick tip to get you guys using the new Boolean tool inside of Zbrush 4r8. I'll see you guys in the next one.